We're back with more time out, no flop zone, no flopping, and we're really hitting the big issues this week. I'm Boti Nagy, with me is Joey Wright. We're talking Melbourne United, Adelaide 36ers, and the fallout. For the benefit of those viewers who have been living in a cave for the past 2 weeks, let me just run through how I saw the thing unfold, and then Joey, please give me your input on what occurred. Bearing in mind it's nearly 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
The game was getting out of hand. I felt during it there was an incident with Montrezl Harrell and Kyle Bowen, where I thought Montrez should have been called for an unsportsmanlike foul as they're running down the floor, but it was ignored. The incident itself on the court was Montrez drives, Rob Lowe makes good position, takes the charge, grabs him by the arm, drags him down. Montrez on the floor overreacts to that and gets a little bit excited. I'm telling you how I saw it. Okay. I'm not doing this for the benefit of United fans or 36ers fans. I'm just saying how I saw it. So they get up. He's not happy about being dragged to the floor. Shea Ili runs into the situation, and the NBL years ago used to say third man in is the one who cops it the most because he's the one that sets off the melee. There is a bit of a melee, a bit of a push and shove. Now, David Barlow comes on from the bench of Melbourne United. He's an assistant coach. A couple of weeks earlier, we've seen Nick Popovic come off the bench in a 36ers game, get a tech foul. So there's a tech foul that should be given. I'm thinking Rob Lowe should be getting an unsportsmanlike foul because dragging Montrez down was not a basketball act. Whether he was trying to protect him or protect himself from the fall, I don't know. But that should be an unsportsmanlike. Montrez's reaction should be an unsportsmanlike. That's pretty much it. And there should be them getting thrown out was fine. There should be a tech foul on David Barlow. No tech foul occurs. They go to their benches, and then crap happens from a couple of spectators yelling at them. It gets a bit feisty, a little bit of pushing, but the 36ers players never went over the bench. There were bench people sitting. So this, comparing it to Malice in the Palace from the NBA, or where players actually ran into the crowd and grabbed spectators, the wrong one actually, as it turned out. This is nothing like that. Nothing like that.
No.
So this is what I think should have happened. The day after, Melbourne United should have immediately banned those 4 spectators, not pretended they didn't know who they were. Immediately should have banned them. The club should have done that. Shouldn't have waited for the NBL. They should have said that's intolerable. We're not putting up with that. We've got 2 unsportsmanlike fouls. We've got 2 guys that are thrown out of the game. We should be having a tech foul free throw. And this whole thing should have just gone away very quietly. Instead, it's been blown up. And now the NBL is actually trying to use it for promotional value. Now, as someone who has been fined a few times, but doesn't have to worry about that here, what's your take?
No flop zones.
What's your take?
I have a little bit different take than I think most of the Melbourne people, and even a little bit different take than yours.
Okay.
I did see Lowe pull Montrez down.
Yep.
All right. I seen Montrez go as far as try to break his fall and not put his entire weight on Lowe. So in the incident itself, I thought Montrez was being gracious because he could have just went dead weight on Lowe and really hurt him.
Yeah.
Once they're on the ground, the first initiation is by Lowe.
Yeah.
He pushes
him off.
Montrez off of him on the ground. That's what Montrez reacts to. And as he reacts, aggressively to that, he still hadn't hit Lowe or done anything to Lowe. He just went to stand up aggressively. And that's when he pushed him again.
Yep.
And that set everything off. So I don't see it. I think Montrez was antagonized twice before he even done anything, and he still didn't do anything.
Yeah, not really.
After everyone came together and it was, grabbing, pushing, holding, or whatever, and he tried to reach through and, slap Ili. He was an open hand slap to the face, or whatever that warrants.
Did he get to him? In the footage I've seen, I can't actually see him get to him.
He pushed his face back, but in what I saw, but I don't think it was anything that's, Shea pushing him on the shoulder and him pushing him in the face. Same thing. Neither one got hurt by it, could have let it go. The incident on the bench, I do not understand how, at all whatsoever, out of everything that happened, the 2 black guys, only 2 black guys got games. That's it. 2 black guys got games. Everybody else get to play.
Yeah.
But the 2 black guys who didn't go into the stands, because they did not go in the stands, and anybody who's saying that is a lie.
Lie, yeah.
A flat-out lie. So Melbourne fans, Felix Van Hall, all of them, that didn't happen. They did not go in the stands. They did not cross the bench line. So that didn't happen. Maybe you give them a fine, same as you gave Melbourne guys, you let it go and move on. And it's not necessarily a big deal. Now you got your biggest asset in Montrezl Harrell not happy and not wanting to play in the league.
Now you specifically saw that through a colour lens, though. You said 2 black guys. What if that had been 2 white? Imports. Okay. Still, they're 2 most important players because that's who they rubbed out. They're 2 most important players. Yeah. Now, I don't see that as necessarily black and white. I just see that these are the 2 guys involved. So
it goes back to the benefit of the doubt thing, and this is just after existing in basketball here in Australia for this long. A white guy can tell a rumor about a black guy, and it's a truth. The black guy can tell the truth, and it's a rumor.
Right.
That's the difference. So when Montrez and Katie are saying, hey, this is what was said to us, a racial slur was said, rumor.
Yeah.
If that was 2 white guys, it might be a little bit different story.
Right. And from what we've heard, or you're probably the same, someone said, sit your black ass down. Right? Mm-hmm. Put the colour in there, which makes it racial vilification. Mm-hmm. Now, the second that Adelaide introduced a lawyer into this, James McLeod, who's apparently a specialist in this sort of area, the hearing which is going to take place in front of the single member tribunal, or whatever that is. I don't know who that is.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. If
Nobody
knows. Let us know in the comments.
If y'all know who that is, let me know when he meets, where he's at, what he has for lunch.
Yeah. Exactly, but that was as soon as Adelaide announced they were bringing.
I think his name's Harry.
Yeah, Harry or rhymes with Harry. Anyway, that was moved from the Friday to the Monday. So that's it. That's interesting in itself. Like suddenly the NBL was like, oh, we might have to actually defend our position. Yeah. The thing coming from my point of view as a former journalist, I thought the take by the Eastern States media on this was extraordinarily biased. It was almost like the Adelaide guys are responsible for everything that happened. I don't see how Melbourne United hasn't been fined or at least reprimanded for its lack of security to allow that situation. That's okay. That could happen again next home game.
Yeah,
it could.
Yeah,
and the
players wouldn't be protected either. That's the one thing I think Larry has forgotten. His biggest asset in this whole thing is not those buildings; it's the players. And if you don't protect your players, they're not going to want to play for you, and they're not going to want to come to this league. If Montrezl Harrell goes out and talk to other great NBA players, I don't know if he'd be telling them to come here to this league. But so I just think Larry's getting that part wrong. Like your biggest asset, your players, protect them first. They were involved in a melee, and it was started by a fan.
Yeah. So it's still the narrative that bothered me because it was almost immediately that, Montrez is looking at a 10-match ban or a 10-week ban. Immediately it went there. It's like, hang on a second, have a look at what he did. And here's the thing that really bugs me. He was mic'd up. And when you're mic'd up, whatever someone says to you can be heard as well on your mic. Mm-hmm. And they've got all that. Where did that go?
Yeah.
Where did that go? Like, you've got that as evidence of everything that was said and done.
And the reality of it is Montrezl Harrell hits Shea Ely with a closed fist in the face. As much as I love Shea, he's the toughest dude, one of the toughest dudes ever to play in the league. He's going down if Montrez hits him in the face with it. So Ogun write that crap. It's probably Ogun has never been hit in the face. And Ogun, if you want to see what a hit is, I'm happy to give you one so you can see the difference in a closed-handed fist and a punch. I'll give you both of them, all right?
Well, exactly. But also, had he punched him in the face, and not killed him, Shea Ely would have been back up. He's from the once were Warriors. He would have been back up.
He would have been back up. Yeah, he'd got back up. He would have got back up, and he'd probably got knocked down again. But he would have got back up. That's Shea Ely.
Yeah,
he's tough.
I've heard that, and also heard Andrew Gaze saying that during the sideline melee at the bench that Montrez had slapped somebody, and Montrez didn't slap anyone. He was trying to be the peacemaker, actually.
Yeah, I didn't see him hit a fan at all.
If Kendrick Davis doesn't react quite that way and have to be restrained, maybe this whole incident is nowhere near as blown up as it has been.
Well, the fans still touched DJ. He still initiated with Matt Weston and DJ. That's not acceptable either.
No.
I've coached a long time in this league. I've only had one incident where a fan has actually made contact with me, and it was alarming. Like, it shocked me. I was coaching in the middle of the game in Perth, and all of a sudden, I turn around and the guy goes, "You think you top shit, huh?" What? Go sit down. And he kept, I said, "Go sit down." So I actually made him sit down. Then the security was there though. Security was right on top of it. They got over quick. But it was startling. Like, it was a shock to someone touching you. And I didn't know he was there either. So that kind of just alarmed me.
We've had a couple of incidents with Adelaide over the years. There was Martin Catalini got suspended and fined, or one or the other or both, back when for fighting, but nobody else was charged. So obviously he was just fighting with himself. A little bit of shadow boxing, but you're from Adelaide, you're out. And we had a coach some 30 plus years ago who reached through out of a timeout huddle, pushed his players aside, reached through and slapped a spectator who'd been giving him a hard time. I think he said something along the lines of, "You're a minicab, you're not quite a coach." Anyway, let's go through what happened here in the upshot. Illy, he was fined $775 for engaging in a melee, which was reduced to $585 with an early plea, so naturally he took it. David Barlow, who didn't
So let me get this right. So Larry, who pays Shay then gives the money to Larry, and then Larry gives it back to Shay? How does that work?
That's. I think there's some donuts and coffee involved in that process too somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
All right, David Barlow clearing the bench during a fight. No tech foul, unlike Nick Popovich from the 36 a few weeks earlier. $775 fine, again reduced to $585 with an early plea. Montrezl Harrell fined $3,685 for 2 charges of striking. They're worth $1,550 each, and engaging in a melee, which apparently is a $585 fine. And inappropriate grabbing or handling a spectator, for which he was suspended for 3 games. And finally, Kendrick Davis, 2 games for inappropriate grabbing or handling of a spectator. One spectator finally got a lifetime ban more than a week after the incident, and another spectator got a 10-year ban from all NBL games and NBL venues. So that is the upshot of it. We've also got a screenshot here for you of Montrezl Harrell's reaction on social media. Give you a second to read that. So he's clearly not thrilled, but I'd be surprised if he didn't come back.
I think he'd come back.
Yeah.
I think he'd come back. I think he's going to come back and make him pay. And make him pay for treating them that way. Because if he decides to play at 100% of the time, nothing anybody can do.
Yeah.
Everybody else can go home. If he plays, he plays, he's playing about 100% about 80% of the time now. They haven't even seen him play at 100%. If he decides to go 100%, it's a wrap.
He's the best player in the league, in your opinion?
He's the best player ever to be in this league. Ever. Ever. Now, what you gonna go back to do and say? I'm not talking about he's done more. He's the best player to ever come to this league. He hasn't done more in the league. All right, so don't get those two confused.
Okay.
But he's the best player to ever come to this league. We have not had that type of physicality, athleticism, intelligence, and skill set ever.
Did you see Rocky Smith play?
I don't know. I've seen Rocky Balboa, Rocky Smith, Rocky whoever.
Marciano.
Rocky Marciano.
We had a bit of fighting earlier.
No, he is. I don't know who the hell Rocky Smith is, but he ain't better than Montrezl Harrell. Did he start on the Boston Celtics, Los Angeles Lakers, Los Angeles Clippers? I don't think so. Where did he start at?
Hey, hang on. It was 6-man, wasn't he? So he's starting.
6-man where?
In the NBA. No, I'm talking about Montrezl.
Oh, he started as well. He was 6-man of the year, but he started plenty of times in the NBA.
Okay. So where's Rocky start at?
I
can't remember. I just know that he was the highest.
North Adelaide Rockets.
No. we're going to edit that bit out because now he's looking quite ignorant about our MVPs of our own league.
I don't know all the MVPs, but I know he wasn't a Montrezl Harrell without seeing him play. So you telling me he is?
I'm telling you that if you haven't seen a lot of these guys play, you really can't just automatically sweep them under the carpet and say this guy's better. You can only go with what you've seen and what you see.
No, I can go with I haven't seen. Just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean.
Yeah, this is going to lead us into a Wilt Chamberlain debate that we're going to have off camera. All right, we're going to grab a quick break. We're back and we've got some exciting NBA footage once again of the forgotten Josh. He's got the green light, Josh Green. We've got a little bit of footage of how he's travelling with the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, no Nick Richards, Mark Williams, Nick Smith. Those players are all out for Charlotte. Corner shot is good for Josh Green. I wish it worked that way.
No, it's just he keeps saying it enough.
Maybe it'll change. Josh Green has his second three-pointer from the exact same spot, that far corner. Get a little bit of a heat check after scoring the last 9. There's Green. Bring around to Rosie, try to catch him. The Hornets haven't missed here so far in the third. Here's Green for 3, and they open up a perfect 4 for 4 from the field.
And this is possibly my favourite play of the week, given that the last time Josh Giddey and Dyson Daniels went head-to-head, Dyson picked his pocket in the open court and went and finished the play. Yeah. This one here, this is called squaring up.
Not the best decision to dish that one on. And another lob. Oh, Giddey came over on his old buddy Dyson Daniels and commits the foul. Ooh.
Josh Giddey said, hey, look, I don't block a lot of shots, but I got that one. Okay.
And I can write on his boomer buddy Dyson Daniels.
Yeah, that's ball.
Yeah, ball before the hand, I think, is what Giddey's argument was there. Let's see. The green light is up.
Giddey! Go get it!
From down under?
We're moving straight on to Coach's Corner because got to pump it out quickly. The question I have for you, as a guy that won Coach of the Year 3 times, championship, these
3 with an asterisk.
3 with an asterisk, yeah. Sorry, a private joke. The FIBA windows, like how much does that disrupt your program, even if you don't have any players in it? Like, for example, if your team is just starting to pick up momentum and you've got to take like a 2-week break, or your team is in a slump, then it probably helps getting that break to sort of, all right, let's pick up and restart. And the players involved, like how did you handle it when there was a FIBA break on?
My teams never did well. Anytime it was long periods of breaks, my team didn't do well. We practiced so hard that extended practice time probably led to more mental, different mental capacity. So we never did really well after them. But how I think they affect teams, you got 2 sides of it. So you have players that go away and play.
Yep.
So they're going away and playing, typically, not in our situation, but typically going to play high caliber basketball.
Right.
So you look at some of the Sudanese players are going away, they're playing some high caliber basketball. And so you have those players playing some good basketball. They're coming back to a group that hasn't. So they're coming back to a group that's been sitting around practicing a lot and, bumping into each other. So sometimes you get a little bit of a separation there. The other side of that, let's say you had no players go, you do get to practice with your whole group for, a couple weeks and maybe realign and reset. How I tended to try to look at it was, okay, this is our time to do basically an end of the year review now. So let's go through and look at all our junk, all the stuff we hadn't been good at, and start to put that in perspective and get that out of there. And then things we've been really good at, let's go ahead and expand on those and let's run that offense more. Let's practice that offense more or practice that defense more. So that's how I tried to look at it, but my teams didn't do well.
See, what I don't understand about these Asia Cup qualifiers is if Australia, and it is the title holder of the Asia Cup, it's the highest placed team from the Asia zone at the Olympics this year, like Japan, everybody else finished below us. Why don't they just automatically qualify, in which case we wouldn't have this disruption?
But you're still going to have the other countries' disruption. So, you know, if you have players that play for a team in Europe or a team in, you know, in our case, we have a lot of players that play.
The Sudanese kids and Hung Young Lee from playing for Korea.
So you're going to have it no matter what, because it's got to be had in other countries. And other teams, you know, my daughter's playing in Serbia now, and they had their FIBA break. So it's happening in other leagues as well, as you know.
Okay, let's talk NBL round 10. It kicks off tonight, or tips off tonight, I should say, with Illawarrah hosting New Zealand. New Zealand with Taco Fall.
I'm going to roll with Illawarrah on this one.
Illawarrah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Taco, 7'6" or something?
Look, I see he's a big guy, and we hadn't seen anyone that big in our league before. No one's probably seen the guy 7'6" walking around before. But big guys haven't really done well in our league over the years. They have not. They get caught in between the 3-point line, going back and forth, because our league, we're a high possession league. So these guys got to get up and down. So it'd be interesting to see how he does, and especially the contrast with Parker Jackson, who pushes that thing as quick as anybody in the league.
Yeah. That's what I'd like to see. Someone reproduce the photograph of Muggsy Bogues back in the day with the Dikembe Mutombo. Was it Dikembe Mutombo?
It was Dikembe,
yeah, with Parker Jackson, Cartwright, and Taco Fall. But I'm with you. I'm going for Illawarrah. All right, and then we got Cairns, Sydney, and Cairns. What's your thoughts?
I'm gonna roll with Cairns on that. They should have everyone back unless someone got hurt over injury, because over the break. But they had everyone back, so I think. I'm going to roll with Cairns, and I think Sydney's in a little bit of a funk, and I don't think they really get rolling until Jalen Adams starts to roll.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that break, we talked about the FIBA break, but that would have helped Cairns get everyone back and healthy. And back and healthy, I bless you, I see them as a playoff contender for sure. Perth and Brisbane.
I'm going to roll with Perth on this one, just based on the game last game and all the hype, and Perth, having two 40-point game and a 50-point game scored on them. I'm looking for Perth to come out and play hard.
What do you reckon James Bateman's going to score in this game? 12, 19?
I think it'll be. It's just hard to replicate that emotionally, to bring that back to it. Yeah, I think he'll level out.
If there's a 50-point game, it'll be from a guy called Bryce Cotton, I reckon. Southeast Melbourne hosting Illawarrah later in the round.
Southeast Melbourne hosting Illawarrah. I'm gonna roll with Illawarrah on this one. I think Southeast might be through their little run of new coach energy, whatever, but I'm going to run with Illawarrah. Yeah,
I'm keen to see how Trey Kell does against Phoenix. I think last time when they played him, he was either out or he was on his way to injury, so he was no factor. So I'm sure back in that venue he'll want to do well. Adelaide, Tasmania. Surely this is going to be Jarrell Martin, where he's got to step up.
Well, you look for Jarrell Martin to step out. DJ's going to get a lot more shots, because now that KD's out, and you got to have Isaac step up and have one of his better games. And if those three step up, then it's a ball game and they can win it. But I'm not going to pick them in this one. I'll go with Tassie.
Nor am I. I'm with Tasmania. Melbourne, Sydney.
Melbourne, Sydney. This will be interesting.
Yes.
All right. This will be interesting. But if Sydney gets to that 3 loss, then I'm going to roll with Sydney. So it really depends on what happens early in the round. But if they lose early in the round, then I'm going to roll with them for the win. They're not going to lose 4 in a row.
Oh, I'm going to pick Melbourne for that. And I'm really looking forward to seeing those 4 empty seats behind the opposition bench.
Or maybe not.
Okay, finally Perth hosts New Zealand at RAC Arena.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Perth on that. I think they're in a good place and they're gonna get going.
I am too, but I'm still really looking forward to seeing the game tonight to see how Taco Fall does fit in with the Breakers. And if he's a good fit, then I'll be prepared to go with New Zealand on that one. I'm curious to see what happens with Freddie Gillespie gone, because I thought he was just starting to settle in.
I thought Freddie was settling in, but I don't think he had anything to do with their success. And so I think Taco coming in, he can only help, because they were winning, but they wasn't winning because of Gillespie.
If you're enjoying the show, subscribe, because that really helps us produce it. Our production values are up from the past, and your subscription really helps that. Leave us a comment. I'm sure we'll get a few after this week's show, and looking forward to next week's show. I'll see you then, Joe.
See you then.